Hello, welcome to My Wisdom, My Voice podcast with Dr. Z. Today, I want to talk about burning, releasing, and detaching from environments, people, and places in where we are not valued. This picture that you are looking at right now is the infamous scene in the movie Waiting to Exhale with Miss Angela Bassett, beautiful, gorgeous woman herself who played Bernadette. And I remember going to see this movie, and I'm getting ready to reveal my age. Back in, I believe, 1995, I was in my early 20s, and it was a whole girls' trip. We went to the movies, we went to dinner afterwards. And I remember when this scene came up, it was Bernadette in her closet, pulling out all her husband's expensive clothes and expensive suits and shoes and everything that they had bought and built over the years. She took them outside, threw them in the car, lit it on fire, and then lit up a cigarette. And as what you can see right now, her walking away from the burning items in the car. And I remember we all cheered. Everybody in the theater was clapping and we felt it. It's like we were there cheering her on from the revenge because Bernadette was the one who held her husband down, loved him, allowed him to become this big success. And what did he do? He betrayed her. And so she, as an act of revenge, she burned all of his things. And so 31 years later, I'm not in my early 20s. I'm not in my early 30s or 40s. I see this scene quite differently. Stay with me here. Now, I'm not condoning burning property or possessions or anything or doing anything to this extreme. But now that I look at that scene again, the energy that was released or the act of it was huge. And it was a way for Bernadette to gain her power back and walk away, although it was extreme. And if it was done at such a time would be some kind of felony or something. So I don't advise that. But what really brought me to this scene or just thinking about this and wanting to talk about this on the podcast is I was scrolling through TikTok, our modern day media and information that we receive. I ran across this young lady, a content creator, who was talking about her leaving a environment. It was a work project where she was the head. She knew her worth, her value. She was building or running some kind of a program, and on the outside she was really doing a good job. She built the company and she was valued, but she had some silent enemies and saboteurs. And so it was really affecting her, but she was telling us that, look, even though the project was huge and um, it was something that was great for me, what was happening to me wasn't great. So I decided to walk away from it, although prematurely, although it would have been outside would have been a bigger thing for me to stay there. So she was happy that not only did she walk away, she announced it and she exposed the people in the background, and then they also was fired. So she was coming to encourage us to speak up for ourselves, to walk away from places and people who don't serve us. And when I saw that, I started thinking about this scene with Waiting to Exhale, although it was really, really extreme. But what I gather, although extreme, some just walking away from a job versus someone burning up their their partners or their husbands' items through betrayal. What was the connection there? And it was not really about the act, but it was about the unseen act of detachment, walking away, doing an act, whether you need to burn something, write something down, expose something. And what that does is it energetically, spiritually, it says, look, this place is not for me. This person is not for me. And it kind of cuts the cords, and so it prepares you for the next part of where you're going, whether it's a relationship. Now, I remember with in the scene with Bernadette, me in the movie Waiting to Exhale, Bernadette, not only did she burn up her husband's clothes, she went and got her hair cut. So now that I'm looking at, it was really showing us how what she was doing. Sometimes we think we're just doing something just to do it. Sometimes there's acts. Some people get tattoos, what to remind them of something. So these two things really move me. And so the last reflection is myself. I've been in places where I know I stayed longer than I should, and I wasn't valued um, for what I was bringing, and I stayed there. But what I realized is that a lot of the times, and I'm sure if you look back on your life, you would see that in these relationships, systems, and places that you're in, they won't tell you, well, you're the glue that keeps everything together. Your presence, you're the one who's allowing people to grow and build on the outside. And you may not think that you are the ones who's holding together until you actually leave. So just know that your presence is great in these places. Just know sometimes that you have to decide whether it's worth staying till the end to see the portrayal, like Bernadette, and doing things that attached, or leaving prematurely, like the TikTok creator who left before the end of the project to where she, would have probably had to do something that extreme. So thank you for listening to Dr. Z with My Wisdom, My Voice podcast. You have a good one.